Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to be joining you today again for just a few minutes. I've just got a few minutes to have a quick conversation with you guys about the real answers that you need to your financial questions. We all have financial questions, so I'm super excited to be able to offer just a little bit to you guys, hopefully bringing you some financial peace. So, everybody, tell me where you are coming in from, what state, because I am always excited to work with you in every state. I will tell you though, Texas is my big state. Super excited that my Texans are on board. We've got California next. Number two state's California. Florida being number three. And then you know what? The rest of you guys are just thrown in all over the place. And I'm excited to work with each and every one of you. I don't offer many services because I feel like that there we go, Florida and Texas. See what I'm saying? that, you know, I feel like that the channel offers you so much in education that you really don't need one-on-one consultation. I do offer it. I have links in the description there if you want to check it out. If you need a push or maybe for your own situation, you just have questions that you can't figure out what in the world you're going to do. I'll be glad to offer you the answers that I can see by looking at a worksheet. But, I really don't think anybody needs one on one coaching. I feel like you just need to get educated. Education is where we grow. And no matter how high up you think you are, you need to get educated, stay educated, keep growing, keep learning, because that's what determines your better future. If you're not into personal growth, then you're probably not going to see your money grow. So it's super important that you get serious about personal growth. We have gone over to 349,000 subscribers. I am in shock because the fact is that when I started the channel, it was just putting out the information that I use personally in my own banking. And I thought, am I the only one that never knew about this? And obviously not, because you guys really appear to be growing and learning and finding peace. That's what's so important. That's what's so important. So I'm coming on here to tell you that we are having the VANNtastic conference. This is live virtual, okay? This is going to be online, so if you can't make it to a live conference where we actually all come together in one building, maybe you'll be able to join the live virtual conference. So we're going to be having September the 1st through the 3rd, and I want to tell you this this conference is bringing a lot of people together that I personally work with. So, I love introducing you to the people that I have learned so much from over the last 2.5 years, but the whole 15 years plus that I've been doing velocity banking. When I introduce you to these special people in my life, it is to bring value to you, okay? They teach things outside of what I teach. So I just want you guys to have access to every opportunity that I have had and I use in my personal life so that you guys too can grow and get excited. So I'm going to put the link to that conference here in the chat on YouTube. So that way you can check it out for yourself, see if that's something you're interested in. Now, I cut the price back over $200 for this virtual conference. January, it was a little more expensive. We had quite a crowd show up, and I think it was of great value. I decided for this virtual conference, I'm cutting it down to $89. And the reason being is I want more of you to be able to show up. Okay. It's going to be recorded. So if you can't make it to the virtual appointment that you're wanting to see, you absolutely can get recordings of each session that's going to be happening. And I want to tell you a little bit about what's happening. We are going to have lenders from the banks that do the first lien HELOCs. You're going to be able to ask them questions, guys. This will be a really good opportunity for you to, be writing down your questions and come to them asking them exactly what it is you need to know. We're also going to have Alex Alberin. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, that he helped me build my dream of starting the YouTube channel. Okay, he was right there with everything from lighting to cameras to action, right? And he's still by my side every day. So he's going to be joining us as well, talking about building your dream. We're going to have Brent Carlson with Corporate Capital. He shows us how to set up trust. What does it mean to have a trust? What does that look like? And he can help you do that as well. So Brent is going to be joining us. We're going to have John Washinko with the Money Max creator. Money Max is such a beautiful, beautiful product. It has helped so many clients, from the real estate investor all the way to the person that can't get a line of credit. So you definitely want to join us for his session and why he created the Money Max and what the future holds, right? We are having a Money Max webinar tonight. It's at 7 p.m. Central Time. The link below in the description here, you can register through that link if you want to join that webinar tonight at 7 p.m. Let's see who else we got. Oh my goodness. I have two special people. They're all special to me. But when I think about velocity banking, who do I think about first? Well, it's going to be Matthew Pillmore. He is the very first person I ever heard anything about velocity banking from. Thank you, Matthew. He knows I'm ever so grateful. He will be joining us to talk about that first meeting that we had. He's also a huge businessman out of Colorado, so he is going to be talking with you about the business and achieving any line of work you want to go into, but how he has been achieving all of these years in the multiple businesses that he has created and has been super successful in. We want to keep growing, people. We want to keep growing. Last but not least, I'm going to have a new speaker, and I can't be any more excited. He is my personal high performance coach, and I have invited him to speak. I'm so excited about this. Now, he's super good. He is Dr. Howard Dennis. He is going to be talking about the coaching that he does with high performers. And when you've got a high performance coach, we're going into our 14th week, just he and I, of how you get better, not just in your private life, but that business. So guys, if you're business owners, you definitely want to hear what Dr. Dennis has to say. If you're just wanting to develop in your personal life and you're wanting to get better, you need to come and hear him, because he has really made my eyes open to some things this year. So I have been in coaching for a long time, but with VANNtastic, and there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn about business. So I'm so thankful for every business coach I've had, from Matthew Pillmore to Alex Alberin, now to Dr. Dennis. But it's just super important that you keep growing. And, we can't forget Chris Nagle. He is coming in. Oh my goodness. He is like awesome when it comes to the infinite banking concept and what that looks like in your own personal finance. So he's going to be joining us on September the 1st. So I want you guys to get excited about this. I love meeting you guys there, first off. I'm, of course, going to be talking about velocity banking. I'm going to be going over the basics of velocity banking, but I am certainly, oh my gosh, I'm going to be talking about your mindset. Since I have been doing this, I have learned that the mindset of just deciding, hey, there is another way to do your finances. There is another way to look at your money. There is a brainwashing that we have endured through. We've got to have the loan, we've got to make our payments, we've got to, you've got to do what you're told. If you're making your payments, then you're supposed to have a good credit score, and you're supposed to have access to more credit. But is that really true? Is that really true? I haven't experienced that. uh, my my whole experience has been wrapped around the tools at the bank and how you use them. Okay, so once you're into using the tools correctly, then guess what? You're going to get free. You're going to get free, but your mind has to be changed. Yes, your mind has to be changed as to what are we thinking when we're using our money? And why are we so saturated in you've got to have that savings account? You've got to have that 3 to 6 to now 12 months of living expenses and a savings account, because what if it might happen? Have to say that I'm 53 and I've not had that what if happen yet, but hey, Dave Ramsey says it's going to, so you better be ready, right? I totally disagree with that. I totally disagree with how people are into this mindset of, yeah, you got to save your money. It's okay that you've got interest charges up to $3,000 per month. But yeah, let's go over here and we'll build this, 6 to 9 month living expenses savings account that is only benefiting the bank. They're the only ones winning. They're winning because they're gaining our interest and they're using our savings. Once you learn what's going on with your money and the bank, you are going to get free. It's a matter of time, and very, very quickly. So I want you to get excited. I want you to get excited. Is the mini course contains videos as well. The mini course is about velocity banking, and no, there's no videos in that. There's no videos in that. I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm going to go look at that. It's been a while since I've looked at that. But no, there's no videos in there. Okay, so let's go back here. We've got Florida, Texas, Kentucky. Hello, hello. Kendrick says, hello, I'm about to close on a house. What are some good tips? And I'm from Texas. Okay, I hope you're closing with a first lien. Are you? First lien HELOC? Are you doing that? If you are, then you're starting out in a revolving line of credit and you are going to do great. If not, and you're closing on a mortgage, for goodness gracious, please, please have a line of credit available that you're going to start chunking that down from the very start so that you can jump all over that amortization schedule and get free quickly. Hey, Liz says, I've got a question. If you don't qualify for a revolving line of credit and can only practice VB on a CC, so that's velocity banking on a credit card, is that okay until you can qualify for an RPLOC? I don't know what an RPLOC is, but yes, the credit card, absolutely. If you go to the playlist under the credit card debt strategies, you are going to see that that absolutely is a way for you to work. That is exactly how I started. So be of good cheer. Some of us don't have the big line of credit that we need. Some of us start with a credit card, and mine, I told you, was a limit of $700. And when I learned about velocity banking and how to use that credit card as an expense card, I want to tell you, I could probably still run around the room right now in excitement for how that made me feel because I was finally free of that credit card. Oh, I ain't got time. I don't have time to be getting into this because I have an appointment coming up, but I could get excited. Now, I have a real passion for getting out of debt. I have a real passion for people who are living paycheck to paycheck. The videos are not a joke to me. This is my life because I lived in hell financially for decades. Okay. And when I start talking about what it felt like in the beginning to get free, that's not a joke to me. I'm dead serious that, um, the day I walked out of the grocery store and I was so frustrated to the point of tears because when I went to the cashier, I gave them a credit card that obviously had no room on it for any charges, and they kicked it back, right? They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it declined." I'm sorry. I'm having like all of these feelings rush back of that moment when you have two little girls, you're checking out, you only have very, very little, right? Like I had a bag full of groceries, it wasn't a lot, and the credit card was declined. There's no feeling of embarrassment hardly like that, to where the people behind you are looking at you like, one, okay, loser, you came in here with a credit card and you don't even have any money on it, to where you're putting back stuff to get it down to a total that your credit card would accept, which for me was probably around $25. So long story short, when the decline happened, which I'd had that happen several times. I mean, that was a lifestyle for me, being completely broke. Um, but when I walked out of the grocery store that day, just came out, like I said, I had a bag, and we're talking one of the little plastic bags. There wasn't a lot that I got. Um, but I remember stepping outside of that grocery store. I had one daughter on my hip because she was still carrying age. The other one was holding on. We had this rule that when we're at the grocery store, you hold on to my jacket or my shirt or the buggy, whatever that be. And I was holding one. That way I knew my kids were attached and they weren't going to get run over by a car. But I remember this Scarlett O'Hara moment where in my mind, I maybe did it. I'm not sure if I had my hand up in the air or not. I'm not sure. But it was one of those moments of complete, I am so exhausted and tired of this life. I'm so exhausted and tired of being frustrated and broke to the point that, I said, I will never be here again. I will never be in this situation again. And I feel like we all have that day. You may have that day. You may have had that day, or maybe that day's not come for you yet. But I was done. I was done with the frustration of being broke to the point I couldn't go to the grocery store and get what I needed that day and had to put some things back. Now, I don't know if you've been there or not. I imagine a lot of you have. You may be there right now. But when you get there, I promise you this, you'll never go back. You will make something happen. You will decide, whatever it takes, I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to stop this insanity. When that happens, guess what? Just like the old Chinese proverb says, when the student is ready, the teacher will arrive. And I'm excited for you guys because some of you may be there and not even realize what you've stepped into with this channel. You may not even realize that this is your answer that has presented itself. It's amazing when that happens in life. And I'm here to tell you that velocity banking changed my life. But my mind had to change first. I had to decide that I was ready to step out of the hell I was in and change it. So things started showing up for me. Bible verses started popping out that I'd never realized were there before about your giving and, how you're going to be provided for. So I hope that you guys have come to your moment and that you're excited. I'd never heard of velocity banking before. I had never understood that there was another way. But once you understand how this system works, how this concept works, and the things, if you'll take from my videos, the things that I have learned while doing the velocity banking. I learned things just from playing with the bank, just from playing with my finances. I learned some things that I share in these videos. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes you're playing with what'll happen if I do this? And what happens if I transfer money here? And can I do that? And what does that look like if I do that? You've got all the wisdom in the videos. And I'm super excited that you've at least stumbled into this arena to see, is this something that, is this woman crazy? What's she talking about? I didn't know you could do that. I had no idea that they had that at the bank. I had no idea that a life insurance policy could change your life. I had no idea that there were revolving lines of credit. What does that even mean? Every video in here teaches you something. And if you'll watch and learn for yourself, you're not going to need a guru to coach you. You're not going to need somebody to, hold your hand and take over your money for you. No, no, you have options that you probably didn't know about because I didn't know about them. I just learned about Money Max 2 years ago. And I literally was praying for an option for one of my clients because they could not get a line of credit. And I said, oh, well, how am I ever going to help somebody that can't get a line of credit? Because we have to have a line of credit to do velocity banking. And I am going to tell you that when the Lord opened that link up for me where I saw the Money Max, and I didn't even study it first. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go meet with them. If they can help this client out, then I'll have something to talk to them about because I knew how much trouble this client was in. They were in a negative cash flow. Okay. When you're in a negative cash flow, you can't breathe. And I had a lady one time just recently. She has cancer. And she told me, because I was making the statement of how painful debt is, how painful that paycheck to paycheck life is. And she said, I'm in the middle of cancer treatments. And she said, until I found you, my finances were more painful than what I was going through with my cancer. Painful emotionally. She said that once she found velocity banking and she got everything in order, she said, now my mind's off of the finances and on to getting better. Isn't that beautiful? And to know that the good Lord has brought me to this place so that I can share this information with you so that you too can get free. But to know that I had been used in a way to release some stress off of her so that she could focus on getting better now, there is no better feeling than that. There is no better feeling than that. I am so excited for you all. I know that you're seeking you shall find, right? I am going to do a segment on success. That is awesome. I literally am putting it together. So I'm going to start doing that because I want you all to be encouraged that I have been through the depths of hell financially, and some of you guys may be there. And you have options. You're going to get free. I can't say that loud enough. You're going to get free. Hang in there. It's coming because now you have answers. You have real answers. You don't have some pathetic guru out here that's a multimillionaire telling you the reason that you're broke is you spend too much money. Hold on a minute. I kind of go into this, I slide into anger zone when I hear someone say that. Because I was a single mom with 2 small children at the time and making $500 a week. And you're going to tell me that I spend too much money? That's why I have a mortgage? That's why I have a car loan? I have to have a place to live. And my mortgage at the time was $614. Yeah, a few years ago. $614. I wasn't splurging on a large house. That was I think it was a 900 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. No, it was a bath and a half home. And you know, the gurus were telling me, oh, you're spending too much. And I had a car. It was your baseline Chevrolet. My car payment was $168. I wasn't living the great life of wealth. I had, I, wow, I had a second mortgage at the time. I know, right? It was almost as much as my house payment. And then you're talking about food, you're talking about gas, you're talking about utilities. Forget cable. I couldn't afford cable. And so then the little baby credit cards I had at $700, and they were to the limit. And that freaking bank was charging me all of these fees because I kept having checks returned because I didn't have any money to pay the bills that had to be paid. If I didn't pay the bills, then I was going to get another fee. And if I paid the bills and avoided the fee, then it went to the bank and it bounced and it went back to the account and they charged me another fee and the bank's charging me fees. And you just feel like I am never going to get out of this. I'm never going to get out of this. But you are. You are. And I'm so happy for you. I can't breathe because I've been there. I know what that feels like. And I know how to get out. And that's super exciting to me that I have come full circle. Someplace I never thought I would ever be. So, this channel has real answers for you. We have real answers. We don't have get frugal. Please don't use that word in my presence. I am not a frugal person. And I don't want you to be a frugal person because when you get frugal, you're so focused on saving and you're so focused on scarcity that by the natural spiritual laws, you couldn't come out of that financial hole you're in if you wanted to, thinking scarcity. I don't care who says it. You have to have a mindset of more than enough. My God is more than enough, and He supplies all of my needs. When you are thinking about wealth and you can afford it, then you're kind of inviting money into your life, because we don't need to be thinking scarcity. We need to be thinking, hey, I'm getting real answers to real questions, and I'm going to get free. Jesus came to give us life and life more abundantly, and by golly, I am embracing that now, and I want you to embrace that, because we're taught the poverty mentality, and that's a sad place to live when you don't have to. Okay? So, I want you guys to get excited about not just your finances, but about life in general, because by golly, it's coming, and we're going to take life by the horns and get excited. We're going to get excited to live again. You're going to get excited to get up and go to work, whatever your work is, because you have answers. You have things that are working in your favor now, and you are going to make this happen. You're going to make this happen. You're going to get out of that paycheck to paycheck. You're going to get out of that negative cash flow for sure. And you're going to get excited, because I'm excited for you. Okay? All right, I have an appointment about to start. I am super excited to work with them. I am going to put, I'm calling this kind of a Labor Day financial rally that we're going to be having September the 1st through the 3rd. I think I'm going to have it in the evening hours so that the West Coast can get in and you get excited with us and grow and listen and learn. It's going to be recorded. You're going to be able to ask questions. And like I said, every person I'm inviting has personally touched my life in great ways, and I'm going to let them touch yours. So I'm hoping that you're excited about the upcoming VANNtastic conference, is what I'm calling it. It's on Labor Day, so it's a Labor Day financial rally. I love that. I love that. And I'm going to put that one more time here in the chat. I'll just name it Labor Day Rally, because you know what? We all have to work. Your work is something. So if your work is something, we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate what your work is going to do for you, because God is your source, not your work. But when we grow in our own personal development, our money is going to grow. It has to. It has to. But we want to get you some good information out there, not frugality. I don't want to hear frugality. I want to hear real answers, real solutions to real questions, and everything financial, okay? From getting out of the negative cash flow to building your credit scores, to building wealth for your future and the generations after you. We want it all. We don't just want, okay, you need a coupon. Let's go get some coupons, and let's just see if we can get some rebates, and let's see if we can cut that grocery bill back, and let's make sure that we shop on sale days so that we can get the lowest sale price, and then use that coupon so that we pay. I'm all about it. I did couponing for years. I was even one of those VANNtastic couponers that really went all in and got a whole buggy for $10. I've been there, done that, people. I have struggled like you probably have never struggled. So I know about couponing, and I think it's great to save money. I think it's great. But when you're working full time and you have two small children, one small child, maybe you're dealing with a disability, maybe you just don't have time to sit down and clip coupons or look all that stuff up online or start matching stuff or going grocery store to grocery store to look for sales. Maybe you have a life outside of trying to save money and now you want real solutions. Well, I'm here to tell you this channel's got them, and I am super excited to share them with you. And I hope you're learning, and I hope you're growing, and I hope you get excited because that's where I want to see you. Okay? And I will see you in the next video. So you guys have a great